Da bin ich aber beruhigt.
I can't do this just yet.
Das war auch ein Scherz. Wenn du noch mehr Bücher hast, lade ich sie dir gerne runter. Okay, Sprache zu Text hat gerade nicht das geschrieben, was ich gesagt habe. Ich habe gerade gesagt, dass ich dir gerne noch mehr Bücher runterlade.
making me nervous.
I can't do this just yet.
You're making me nervous. Happening is we're not forcing kids to do that anymore. So now what's happening is we have a generation of kids. We're no longer taking the stairs to get from floor 1 to floor 3. Everyone's taking the elevator. And what it's doing is deconditioning our minds, which is why we see all of the problems that we see. So our minds are becoming weaker because we're not pushing them, right? Our minds are constantly being driven around in mechanized wheelchairs. We're taking elevators, we're taking escalators. We're not using our minds. We're restraining them with these external devices. That's what's going on. So I think giving your kid an iPad, just giving it to him, I think is a bad idea.
How could parents counteract this? Is it simply taking away that stimulus from them?
So we do a ton of work with parents, and here's what we've learned. So it's my belief that technology is here and here to stay. It's also my belief that when you excessively restrict a child, there's a chance that they'll build that habit and things will be okay. But there's also a chance that they will flip out when they get unfettered access. So kids who, for example, like never partied and never had a drink and never were like super like careful when in high school, will sometimes go to college and they will just flip the fuck out. So our belief is to teach restraint instead of restriction. And this goes back to like the yoga and stuff like that, right? Like what did I learn in India? To control your desire, to understand how your mind works. Right? So this is what we really encourage is it's not about access to screen time or not access to screen time. It's what are you teaching your child in relation to the screen. So something that I do with my kids is I'll ask them, they're like first thing on Saturday morning, can we watch something? And I say, sure. I'll ask them, how much do you want to watch? I'll say, a lot. Okay. How much are you having fun? I'll ask them in 30 minutes. Are you having fun? Yes. How much fun are you having? So much fun. Do y'all want to continue? Yes. And I'll ask them after 30 minutes. If I try to take it away, they'll rebel. But I ask them, are you still having as much fun? No. Nah. If they start to get wiggly, they start to not like it as much. What do y'all think about doing something else? No, we want to keep watching because once the dopamine hits, they want to stay. And I say, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to stop now. I'm going to take y'all to the playground. And then in 30 minutes, I'm going to ask you, are you happy you came to the playground? And if the answer is yes, Then I'm going to take you to the playground next time. If the answer is no, I'm going to let you watch 30 more minutes. You're in full control, right? So a lot of parents will be like, you know, irrespective of what the kid says, I'm going to stop. So then and the cool thing is like the kids will learn. And so now they're like, their technology usage is really good. They don't get to use it as much as they want, but like they recognize that there is a diminishing return on technology usage, which is such a great thing to instill in a kid.
Yeah. I like how you're teaching them how to be a free thinker and make decisions for themselves, because I feel like school really teaches you you have to be at this place at this time and do these things, and if you do exactly what we tell you, that's great. But then you go into the real world and you have no idea what you're supposed to do if someone's not telling you what to do.
Yeah, because I think that, like we were saying earlier, like school like creates factories, right? It's like factories for putting out a certain kind of kid. We don't teach children how they work. Like we don't teach them about their mind. I mean, it's crazy. I'll do like workshops and stuff at like FANG level companies, and I'll do literally the same workshop for like a group of 9-year-olds, and it's just as accessible. It's like, where does your desire come from? It's a whole in and out discussion. You can have that discussion with a 9-year-old. They'll get it just as well as you do. Big difference is if you teach it to them when they're 9, like the whole trajectory of their life changes.
It's really interesting.
Restless leg syndrome, RLS. Is that a mind thing or is that a body thing?
Jack is terrible at this. Just constantly, his leg is like.
That's not restless leg syndrome. So you have something called NEAT, which is non-exercise something. Okay, let's talk about restless leg syndrome. So first of all, you ask, is it mind or is it body? There's no difference, okay? So like, what we're sort of learning is that more and more things are psychosomatic. So even things like physical ailments, like arthritis. We think of arthritis as a physical condition. But if you literally get a phone call and you learn that your car has been stolen, that will affect your mind, right? Because it hits the mind first, and then the mind will affect the brain, and the brain will release cortisol. The cortisol will increase demarginalization of white blood cells. You'll have 50% more white blood cells in your bloodstream, which means that your arthritis, which is an inflammatory condition, is going to get worse. So arthritis, too, is a psychosomatic condition. What we certainly know about restless leg syndrome is that it is certainly quite neurological as opposed to psychological. So we know that, for example, there's a problem in the dopamine transmission. So dopaminergic agents are very helpful for restless leg syndrome. The other thing is that when we're talking about clinical restless leg syndrome, we're talking about people who, when they're in bed, they kick their legs so hard that they wake up. So imagine you're being attacked by a bear, and it's trying to bite you, and you kick it. The force with which you would kick that bear is the force with which people with restless leg kick. So the first thing is it really makes things hard for if they're sleeping with anyone else in the bed. The second thing is the force of the kick will literally wake them up. So now if this happens every 15 minutes, it's very hard to sleep. So restless leg syndrome is like, can be I think it's actually like an underappreciated. People don't appreciate how debilitating restless leg syndrome is. It can be quite crippling for a lot of people.
Wow.
What's going on with you? I mean, I have no idea if you have restless leg syndrome or not, but
No, I
that's
don't.
not what I'm hearing.
No.
What I'm hearing is that you're fidgety.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, so there's a couple things. One is that about 10 to 15% of the calories that we burn throughout the day, on average, we're going to get to the variability in a second, is from non-exercise something, I forget what it's called, the abbreviation is anecdotes. So it's basically like this, right? And so we burn like 10% of our calories, just like fidgeting. Now, in your case, what I would say is that you have a high amount of Vata. So this is like an Ayurvedic concept, but you have a lot of wind in your body. So you're kind of fidgety, right? So you would say, like, even if you look at your hands, your features are very angular. You're very like conversationally dynamic, right? So like if I have a conversation with him for 3 hours, there's going to be a clear chain from A to B to C to D. We're talking about meditation. You've been kind of more running the show than he has, right? So you've been talking about meditation. We're talking about this thing. And oh, by the way, what do you think about this? And if we go for 15 more minutes, your mind will jump to something else. So my guess is that you get bored easily. My guess is that you can dive into something for a long period of time, but then you may like get alone for a little while or move on to something else. So these are all consistent with Vata, which means that your mind is like the wind. It can blow really hard in one direction and it'll blow hard in a different direction. Right? It's quite powerful, but it's not necessarily very consistent. That doesn't mean that you can't consistently have a career. It just means that the more variability that you have within your career, I think the more you will have your best mind. Whereas if I told you, hey, you're going to work a 9-to-5 job and you're going to climb the corporate ladder for a decade, you'd do better at it.
I 100% agree with that. Graham is extremely good at grinding. Like putting his nose to something.
He's Guffa, which is earth and water. So stability, like low acceleration, high top speed. High acceleration, low top speed.
That's really fun.
Interesting.
So we have this joke. I'm the kite, he's the string.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's our
Yeah,
joke.
we do.
He's
And
the rock, you're the kite.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
So the cool thing about Ayurveda is that you're able to make these diagnoses because there's physical correlations with mental attributes. So if you look at like the veins on the backs of your hands are going to be more visible than the veins on the backs of his hands. If he has a roundness to his face, you have more angularity.
Wait, so what could you tell about that? About like facial structure?
So your face is round,
Right.
his is more angular. Your nose is round, his is more angular. His ears stick out more, my ears stick out more. By the way, what do you think I am? Is this an angular nose or a round nose?
Angular.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
right? So I have high Vata too. That's why we're vibing so much. And we're like,
Nice.
let's talk about
Okay,
this. And
cool.
let's talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
this. This is the other thing to understand about Vatas is that the current society is very Pitta favorable. So the way to success, right? So you're talking about like all these people who come on and will say, this is the road. So our whole society is biased towards Pittas. So 9 to 5, not 9 to 9, which he can pull off. Not midnight to 6 p.m. twice a month, which is probably what you can do, right? So like Vatas can work very intensely for a short period of time. Kaphas can work long periods of time, but everything is Pitta oriented, 9 to 5. Okay, if you look at like income, what correlates with the highest income over time? It's changing jobs every 2 to 3 years. So if you stay in a job for 10 years because you're like Kapha oriented, you're going to get screwed. If you change jobs every 6 months, which is what you feel like because it takes you 6 months to get bored, that's going to screw over Vatas. So our society is generally speaking Pitta favorable. That being said, a big part of this stuff, if you're Vata, is constructing a life that suits your dosha. So like I told y'all, this is just one thing I'm doing today. I'm flying out and I'm going to do another thing. And then I'm going to work on a book, and then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. So what I discovered as a Vata is that if I did one thing, I would get exhausted. Get exhausted more quickly than my peers. But something miraculous happened. If I was doing 4 things, if I was juggling as many balls as I could without dropping a single one, my energy levels were through the roof, and my productivity is inhuman, right? But it's not inhuman. It's just I know how I work, and I create an environment that suits me. The problem in today's society is we always try to shape the environment. We always try to shape ourselves to the environment, right? So someone looks at somebody else and says, oh, that person has a 4.0 GPA, and they go to the library every day. I want to turn into that person. I want to be able to go to the library every day. We spend all of this time trying to instead of discovering who we are, we don't even know. All we know is that we want to be someone else. I want to be more confident. I want to have less anxiety. I want to find the answers to life. I want to help other people, right? And as you look at other people, we start adapting their traits. Instead, what we really need to do is understand ourselves and then start to shape the environment around us so that we don't have to adapt. Anytime you adapt, you're not operating at 100% because you have a natural inclination, right? You have a biological, circadian rhythm that makes you a morning person or a night person. Playing into that and leaning into that is actually how you optimize performance. So let's understand a couple things. I think for you, it's not which one is right. What you've got to understand is there isn't a right. There are lots of rights, okay? And the beautiful thing is your mind is so dynamic that you can integrate those. This is I don't know if you've ever played a game where you swap stances, right? I'm in attack mode, I'm in guard mode, I'm in heal mode. So that's the way you need to think about your life. It's not that there's a philosophy that's correct and a philosophy that's wrong. It's which philosophy do you want to employ at this moment? So you're changeable,
That's
you're
crazy.
adaptable.
Yeah, okay, that
So
makes
stop
sense.
trying to be one thing because, bro, how many more books do you need to read? How many more successful people? Well, who do you think has the answer? Swap dynamic things. Being illogical, you're not adapting their people. Just thinking a life that suits your dosha. So like I told y'all, this is just one thing I'm doing today. I'm flying out and I'm going to do another thing. and then I'm going to work on a book, and then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. So what I discovered as Vata is that if I did one thing, I would get exhausted. Get exhausted more quickly than my peers. But something miraculous happened. If I was doing 4 things, if I was juggling as many balls as I could without dropping a single one, my energy levels were through the roof and my productivity is inhuman, right? But it's not inhuman. It's just I know how I work and I create an environment that suits me. The problem in today's society is we always try to shape the environment. We always try to shape ourselves to the environment. Right? So someone looks at somebody else and says, oh, that person has a 4.0 GPA, and they go to the library every day. I want to turn into that person. I want to be able to go to the library every day. So we spend all of this time trying to, like, instead of discovering who we don't even know. All we know is that we want to be someone else. I want to be more confident. I want to have less anxiety. I want to find the answers to life. I want to help other people, right? So, like, and as you look at other people, we start adapting their traits. Instead, what we really need to do is understand ourselves and then start to shape the environment around us so that we don't have to adapt. Anytime you adapt, you're not operating at 100% because you have a natural inclination, right? You have a biological, like, circadian rhythm that makes you a morning person or a night person. Playing into that and leaning into that is actually how you optimize performance. So let's understand a couple things. I think for you, it's not which one is right. What you've got to understand is there isn't a right. There are lots of rights, okay? And the beautiful thing is your mind is so dynamic that you can integrate those. This is like, I don't know if you've ever played a game where you, like, swap stances, right? I'm in attack mode, I'm in guard mode, I'm in heal mode. So that's the way you need to think about your life. It's not that there's a philosophy that's correct and a philosophy that's wrong. It's which philosophy do you want to employ at this moment. So you're changeable,
That's
you're
crazy.
adaptable.
Yeah, okay, that
so
makes
stop trying to be one thing because, bro, how many more books do you need to read? How many more successful people? Well, who do you think has the answer? Because you see the merit in all of them and you're trying to bring them all together. Don't try to bring them all together. That's his job. Right? He's going to integrate stuff. You get to swap. Just swap, baby.
That's fascinating. Okay, we need to change the topic so it's not so personalized.
Yeah,
it's more
I
broad stroke
agree.
for the audience. But I
think a lot of people will resonate with that.
Amazing. Yeah.
But,
I'd love to talk about relationships.
okay,
How long have you been married for?
12 years.
How did you meet her?
Summer camp.
And how did you know that she was going to be your wife?
I didn't right away. So it's kind of an interesting story. So, like, I had known her for a while because we grew up going to the same summer camp. So I knew who she was, but I didn't really, like, know her. Because, like, in summer camp, right, like, I was in high school, she was in high school, but I'm 3 years older than her. So she was, like, a freshman. So we were both counselors. And then the funny thing is that this was actually the summer, I just finished my time in India. So I came back and I was going to be a monk. And so I meet this girl who I find very attractive, right? But, like, I've decided, like, I'm going to forsake my life. And physical pleasures are for the weak. I'm powerful, I'm spiritual, I'm above that. No nut November all day long, baby, let's go. So the interesting thing is that I'd struggled a lot with, like, confidence and shame and failing out of college and all that. You asked me, like, oh, how were you not terrified? It's because I didn't have a life worth living, you know? So I struggled a lot with, like, women. And I'd watched all this stuff from pickup artists and stuff like that. This was, like, back when pickup artists were, like, before red pill became a thing. It's like... So,
Favorite
right,
topic. I love this.
I learned all these, like, techniques and stuff and tried them, but I just didn't understand the fundamentals. So I met this girl. And since dating was out of the question, I could actually talk to her. Like, just talk to her because I have nothing to gain, nothing to lose. So I'm just like, hey, do you want to, like, we're going to the same college, so she's going to be a freshman. I'm a junior. And I was like, I'll show you around, right? So, like, I'll take you out, like, you're moving there for the first time, so, like, I'll show you what the cool stuff is. You're interested in that. She said yes. So she insists that I asked her out on a date. I was not asking her out on a date. I didn't think about it as a date. I thought about it as, like, I'm 21, she's 18, she's new, I know something about this place, so, like, let me just do a nice thing. So she insists that we were dating when I didn't think we were dating. I was just, but then we started dating, and then, yeah, I mean, so you asked how long, that's how we met. And then eventually, I decided the celibacy thing wasn't going to work out. And then, found myself with a girlfriend. And that was confusing for a while in terms of the whole spirituality thing. But then I sort of realized what I shared with y'all earlier, that a monk is not about having sex or not having sex. It's about the attachment to lust, or the freedom from lust that makes you a monk. This is why we hear all these stories about monks and priests, and it's not just Christians, by the way. It's like all the religions, right? All these people who have enforced celibacy, who don't have the spiritual training, are the ones that get into problems. And then they start, usually it's men, putting their dicks where they don't belong. So what I sort of realized is that, like, it's about conquering lust, not about being celibate.
So what was the point you realized you didn't want to be a monk anymore in that relationship? Did you tell her initially, like, hey, I'm going to be a monk?
Yeah, I think I told her, but she thought we were dating, and I think she also knew me quite well. And she also, I don't know that she ever. So she's told me many years ago that, either you're going to end up as a swami, which is like a guru, or you're going to end up as like something like what I am now. So she saw a long time ago that, like, if I had gone a different route, and I thought about it, and I ultimately decided, even now actively, try really hard not to be a spiritual guru, because it's a whole different thing. But so I think she kind of understood our relationship, I think, better than I did for a long time, and then eventually I kind of came around, and then I sort of realized, like, okay, like, I don't have to give up being a monk to, like, be in this relationship.
So being a monk is more about the identity, the values, the belief, the intent behind certain things, rather than the actual action of your, or why you're doing
yeah,
something.
so I would say technically being a monk is not about that, but that's why I use the word sadhak.
Right.
So sadhak is a spiritual aspirant, someone who is interested in spiritual growth. So that's what I would describe myself as, not a monk.
You're a de facto.
Yeah, so I think the most important part, so all monks should be sadhaks. And when monks are not sadhaks is when we run into problems. That's where all the abuse comes from. And the cool thing is you don't have to be a monk to be a sadhak.
So when you speak to people, do you also speak to people through relationships? And why does it seem like right now, I guess, dating seems like a lot harder than it was 20 years ago?
So here's the problem with dating in today's world. So the first problem is that we were sold a promise that turned out to be a lie. So if you think about dating apps, what is the premise of a dating app? The premise of a dating app is that you are a certain kind of person, and in your social circle, you have access to only 40 people, and you may not match with them, right? So there's a perfect person somewhere out there with you, but because of the bounds of time and space, you will never meet. What we're going to do is we're going to collect your profile, and we're going to compare it to billions of other profiles, and we will find that perfect person. And if we combine these two people, then it'll make it easier for you to find the perfect person. That's the promise of a dating app, right? Fair?
Yeah.
What's actually happened is the opposite. So now what's happening is that they say they have all these perfect people, but people are actually having to go through more and more and more people before they find the right one. The exact opposite is happening. Instead of making the process easier, so you'd have to go through 40 people before you find the one in your normal life, right? So if we go back to like 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 80 years ago, what was the size of social circle that you would find your mate? Probably like somewhere under 300 people for sure. But the dating app said, we're going to make it easier, and what they actually did is make it harder. The other problem is I think a lot of dating apps, the information that they collect is something that a lot of people don't understand. The information that they collect does not correlate necessarily with relationship success. So this is another good example. So if you look at, like, let's say if you look at streaming, okay? So I can see my viewer count, and like streaming platforms will show me analytics. Why do they show you the analytics that they show you?
They want more people. Yeah, they want more people to watch.
So you can improve upon them. Are the analytics that they show you the ones that you need to be looking at to improve?
I would say watch time.
CTR, AVD, I would say so.
So I would say probably not. So the analytics that they show you is what they can collect. Y'all get that? That's why I like CTR. Watch time. Easy to collect. Does it actually correlate with quality? Like, I mean, so it correlates with quality, but doesn't inform you as to what to do. So this is a big thing. If you think about a dating profile, the dating profile has what we can easily collect and what we can easily represent. It doesn't contain what creates a successful relationship. You'll get that?
Yes.
right? So this is a problem with dating apps is they have us fill out all this information, but a good match has nothing to do with hobbies and interests. If y'all want to know, if you look at the science of connection and even the science of sexual activity, there are all kinds of variables. There are 4 variables that correlate with sexual activity, none of which you can even detect, or matching or connectedness that you don't find on the dating app.
What are those variables?
So number 1 is a shared emotional experience. There was a study where they had people have a first date. The control condition is y'all are going to meet on a bridge made of stone. The experimental condition is you're going to meet on a bridge that is a rickety wooden bridge. What they found is that the level of the attraction between the two people was way higher on the rickety bridge. So anytime you can create a shared emotional experience between two human beings, they bond. This is why people fall in love at rehab. So like rehab is a place where everyone's like fucking addicted. They're going through some stuff, but boy do they fall in love at an alarming rate. And if any of y'all have ever worked at rehab or people listening, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Because everyone who is working at the rehab is paranoid about the patients falling in love, sneaking out, fucking, all kinds of stuff. We're paranoid about it because it happens all the time. Shared emotional experience is what creates bonds. Second thing, 90 minutes of activity, 90 minutes of exposure is ideal. So as you go past 90 minutes, attraction tends to wane, sexuality tends to wane. Third thing is, let me think about this.
What do you mean about the 90-minute thing? You're saying
So
like
first date?
Just in general. Like, if you want to feel connected to someone, you're getting to know someone.
Oh, it's diminishing returns any
after
past
90. Yeah. So, like, 90 minutes is like where things
So you're
start
saying
to fall
if you're
off.
dating, it's optimal an hour and a half and then kind of end it.
So there's a group of people out there who have trouble getting second dates. Or we hear this, like, feedback a lot, which is like, there was no spark. So what is the science of the spark? Right? Because what happens, everyone shows up and they're like, let's talk about our interests. Let's talk about our hobbies. It doesn't correlate at all with relationships. So values over time will be important for long-term relationships and will affect things like conflict. So do we want to have kids? Do we not want to have kids? You know, do we want to be charitable? Do we want to accumulate wealth? Some of that stuff is really important for long-term stuff. This is the other confusing thing that a lot of people don't get is that when they start dating, they're planning for a long-term relationship, but that's not how we exist as humans. We fall in love first. So this is the other thing I've seen. Every successful relationship, or almost every successful relationship I've seen is a psychiatrist. And a lot of people may think, okay, like if you're a psychiatrist, don't you see bad relationships? No, like most people actually have healthy relationships. Not everyone comes for couples counseling. Every relationship I've seen that's successful has at least one red flag. And even that, everyone's like, red flag, run for the hills. Don't run for the hills. Because when you have a red flag early in the relationship, you learn conflict resolution. Can you manage conflict with this person? Right? So I had red flags early in my relationship. My wife had red flags, and we worked through those. And wow, it turns out that if you can resolve your red flags, that's actually like a very good prognostic sign for future relationships. But we run away from it. The other thing that's going on, so does that explain the 90 minutes? So the thing about the 90 minutes is we just know that something about attractiveness and like how much of a spark I feel like diminish that.
Could it just be mystery? Like you leave something to be wanted afterwards?
Yeah, so I mean, I think there's all kinds of mechanisms. We don't know why. There's all kinds of hypotheses. But what we do know is that 90 minutes seems to be good. So shared emotional experience. So I would say, like, you know, go do something scary together. Go do something. It doesn't have to be positive emotion. You can actually share negative emotion. It's fine. This is why rom-coms, I think, tend to work well, because we're sort of on the same, you know, like, emotional wavelength. Another thing is, the dating has to be free of hassles. So the number one thing, not number one, I just say that metaphorically, but one of the key things is that when you ask people, like, what makes you DTF, you know, it's like, this needs to be hassle-free. So another problem that's happening with dating is that, like, dating is not turning into hassle-free. In fact, it's becoming the opposite. So I'm selecting for my mate now, right? And in order to get this, you all need to pass my tests. So dating apps are increasingly becoming about filtering and, like, interviewing. It's not dating anymore. It's not like, let's see where this goes. It's like, do you match my criteria? Which, by the way, is created by the dating apps because they create criteria. They ask you, what's your criteria? If you look at the history of humanity and the whole animal kingdom and mammals and all kinds of things, no one has criteria. It's like, hey, like, I'm gonna do this dance for you. You into it or you not into it, right? All that stuff is gone from modern dating, which is why it's so hard. Because all these criteria and finding the perfect mate and planning for your life together from day one, like, I don't know how to say this, but an early relationship cannot withstand the pressures of a long-term relationship at the first date. You can't do that. That's why it crumbles.
So it sounds like the paradox of choice is making people look for disqualifying factors rather than qualifying factors, which used to be the way that people saw dating.
So there is a paradox of choice, and absolutely people are more interested in disqualifying than qualifying. But I would say even go one level deeper. The fact that you are considering a qualifying factor is not how people fall in love. No one is like, do you qualify for me or not? Is this good enough? No, everyone's like, well, fuck, this person is wrong for me, but, you know, like, this is fun. And you do stupid shit. I mean, hell, my wife started dating someone who was celibate. Like, how much more of a red flag can you get? Like, how stupid, how stupid is that?
Yo.
And there's other red...
Shoto!
We delving.
Yep, for experience mostly. And I want to hit like 350 depth. And then I'm just going left to right for money. I like delving. Delving is fun. It's just monsters everywhere with zero investment. It's great. And it's so good for Cyclone. Just spin. Spin to win.
Fairs.
Love it. So good. If I continue, I might hit 95. Let's go. Oh. Ah. I made quite some money this, well, today. Getting closer to the Mage Blood.
I've realized I can stack frenzy charge perk stuff too.
Yep. Wait, you and I were talking about the build, right? The witch, the occultist thing, right? I have bad memory.
I get why Mage Blood is useful, but also it seems overadded to me when you have Flask use modifiers already.
Yeah, overrated. Well, it's strong as fuck. There's no overrating at all. It's just insanely OP.
It just seems useful for bossing.
Sure. If you can get a Mage Blood and a Headhunter. Well, it depends though on the content. If you choose maps to the wazoo, Mage Blood definitely helps survive and kill. And since I want to do an armor stacker, that type of build benefits greatly from Mage Blood. You know, stacking armor.
You. How you doing?
Yo, Snowy!
Makes sense.
Okay, you guys, don't be surprised. Snowy is on YouTube, and you, Shoto, you're on Twitch. So I'm just talking to two people. Snowy, I'm on the grind to a Mage Blood. It's looking okay. Let's see the price of Mage Blood right now.
Multi-streaming moment.
Mage Blood is 152 at the moment. I hope it doesn't go up. And I have 102 divines. So we are slowly getting there.
Look at you. Think they'll be back? Huh? Probably.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Okay.
NICCCCCCC, you gonna use it on what build?
Armor stacker. I definitely want to go back to your Dorianis. I think. I am going to reroll a Scion. And then I'll see what I'll do.
NICCCCCCCC, that will be fun.
Snowy, next time just type nice, please. The fucking bot is freaking out.
Hahaha, okay.
I'm so glad that this build, this one here, is working out so well.
Yo, if this build can do T7 wisps, do IT. I got 20 raw divins on a single map.
Yeah, but I'd have to do magic find, no? I don't wanna do that. Doing tier 16 wisps. I'm soon out of sulfite. I'm going back into maps.
I did that on my armor stacker without MF. I think
Okay.
the build I wanna run with lower rolls is like 2 div.
I can't do this just yet.
Fuck me. That was close. Okay, we are going back.
Think they'll be back? Huh? Shh.
More maps. Waste pool is love, waste pool is life. Chilled. Vulnerability. Any weakness? I don't like that.
BTWI got 5 divines from Gambler's card.
What the fuck? Poison is fine. Chaos Rose, Eliras. Avoid Impale. It's kinda eh. But on the other hand, it's okay. Let's go.
What are the chances?
Very low. I'd say under 1%. Alright. Let's catch some wisps. Okay, here's one event. Fucking frogs.
Bro, why you don't have 5 map slots?
I'm lazy. Poisons. Okay, it's all trash. Okay. Here's some trail. Purple trail. Alright. Next event.
Why does your HP looks like lava?
From an old MTX, like 1 or 2 leagues ago. They introduced an MTX, and it's a helmet, and with the helmet, your HP looks different. Looks cool, huh? Oh, big boy. I like how Pride looks when it's fully
Looks really
charged.
cool.
Okay, 1 sec.
Charms you.
Imperfect, imperfect, guardian, imperfect, imperfect. I wonder if you can hear this right now. No, okay. That's not too good. It's 2.3 wisp, 2.4. Alright. What's weird is I cannot complete my blights anymore. And I wonder if if they get some sort of defensive layer as well. Because it's weird. They're just running through.
Haha, they suck anyways.
What sucks? Blight? Ah, Blight is awesome. Watch the loot in the end. Here, I don't get it. They're just running through. But I think they only do this when they're juiced like this. I don't get it. Like, do they have percentage cannot be inflicted by elemental ailments or some shit? Like, why? I don't understand. I think when I don't juice and then I run the blight, it's fine. I don't... It's so weird. Like, I lose... If I juice them, like, over...
I tried many times, they always get through.
Yeah, but that's because you suck. You need your chilling towers freeze enemies, but they are... I don't know what it is. They're just going through. Maybe one thing I'll do... is not take this. They spawn faster, but I'm not sure if that's... It's weird, I don't know. I need a build that just deletes everything. Scorch. I think I cannot be scorched because I'm running elements.
Apparently I didn't fix my load times.
That's great. Waiting 2 minutes to load something is... sounds like a lot of fun.
I can't do this just yet.
This applies to the wildwood as well, mind you.
Jesus Christ.
I load in and just freeze there.
What the fuck? What's your computer? What's your graphics card? What's your processor?
Redeem as many gamblers you got.
You think I'm gonna hit something good? Your divines were a freaking outlier, man.
Gotta grab him before someone else does.
Brew, I swear, I didn't lie.
Yeah, oh my god. Outlier doesn't mean you lie. Google the word outlier. What the fuck?
Apparently I don't have enough memory.
How much memory do you have?
Like 3K.
3K? 3K what?
MB.
Dude! This costs 40 divines. Holy shit.
Why am I the outlier again?
Oh my god. Snowy, are you kidding me?
Outlier. Google it. Okay, NVMMMM. $40 divines, let's go. Get mage blood, I wanna see.
Sick.
Yeah, I seem to have a little under 3,000 megabytes of memory.
Dude, no one says it in megabytes. Is that your RAM? No one says that in megabytes.
Probably.
Here. I have 32 gigabyte. You say that in gigabyte.
3 GB lol, my calculator got more. I was checking my usage of it in Task Manager.
Yeah. Here.
And it was just there.
I've never heard anyone before having 3 gigs. The fuck?
I am now just confused.
Are you sure? Here, do the following.
Because apparently I have more than such.
Click on, well, click on your task manager again. Go to performance. Check the tab with RAM. Are you sure you have 3 gigs? I think you're wrong.
Oh, I have 7.9.
That's also such a weird number. Jesus. I don't know. I don't know what this is, dude.
Makes more sense. I realize I am running this on an external drive.
Oh my god, that's the reason, dude. Are
That
you
probably
insane?
doesn't help.
No, run it on your local. Are you crazy? Are you crazy?
It's probably 8, but shows 7.9 cause Microsoft does some shit with 0.1.
Yeah. Oh, and I found another Valdos.
Guess I need to shove this on my SSD.
Yeah, you have to. Shoto. Uninstall PoE and fresh reinstall it there. Don't move it from A to B, dude. Another 2 div in the bank. Whoop whoop. 7-7. Almost all 7.
Can't wait for you to get Mage Blood.
That's so cute. Okay, I think I'm gonna run one of those. Am I fighting Chimera? I think I am. This Sulfide Blight. Boom. Why? Huh. I don't understand.
One of my captives made a beat.
Oh wow, Cassius right in the beginning. Oh, do I want to choose the
BTW, why are
boss?
you stacking divines like that?
Because a Mage Blood is 150 divines, which is 15 stacks. That's why they are like this. Okay, so I might log on my 100% block character to fight what's it called? Chimera, because then I cannot die. The fight's gonna take a lot longer, but I cannot die. Have you seen my 100% block character? He's fun. Poor deer, he's killing the deer. What did the deer do, huh?
I can't do this just yet.
Bad, bad, bad. Forest, bad, bad. Everything's bad. More movement? No. Oh, is this XP? Oh, sick. Big experience boost, let's go!
Do you have a Discord channel?
Nope.
Keep learning.
Make one.
Nope. I don't want to talk to people.
What? Why?
I don't want to. Why would I want to? Ah! Holy.
At least give me a rid so I can share memes with you.
No. I have enough people randomly sending me shit.
I can't do this just yet.
Haha, okay.
Yo, the experience, let's go. Can someone please buy the charm? I'm gonna lower it by 1 divine after this map. Why is this guy talking to me right now? Experience, go brrrr. And this guy doesn't even have very good defenses. Pretty poor actually. 11k armor, 10k evasion, 76% spell suppress, so not even capped. 35% chance to block attacks. That's pretty much the defense. One of the better defenses is that
How did you know that charm was Pog?
I used Awaken PoE trade. Okay, Block Boy, where are you? Vegan Block. Does he have everything? Is he missing here? He has everything. Let's go!
My spirit is spent.
So this guy can never hurt me because he only does attacks. And I have 100% chance to block attacks. I'm literally immortal versus this person. I think that's funny.
Poor NPC.
Yep. It's really spells killing me. Oh wow, first try. Wait, why isn't he buffed by the wisps? That's weird. Don't you think? Because if that's the case, I could just log and do it on my main.
My spirit is spent.
Chimera, where are you? Oh, last one now. Wait, why is he in clouds again?
I don't have a big enough SSD for this with it finding every single thing of size.
Oh my god, Shoto. And you were surprised why you had long loading times. Unreal. So,
Oh Mau.
what are you gonna do now, dude? What's the size of your SSD? Isn't there shit you can move from the SSD to your external?
$117 GB, but I have to find it.
Okay, I'm lowering the fucking charm. 38 divines, come on now, boys. 19 chaos for this flask. Money, money, money. Oh, my guy doesn't have flasks. That sucks. All my... what's it called? All my armor flasks. Chimera, you little bitch.
Don't worry, someone'll definitely buy it.
I can't
Hopefully.
finish this yet.
I forgot I had Frostblink. Frostblink is so OP, dude. The instant part of it, it's so nice. Watch, Shaper's gonna come and shoot. Boom. So good. Also, on this guy, I'm doing the Dark Marionettes Guardian Blessing memes, guys. With them up, I have 2.8k ES. Without them, I'm 2.1.
Better than shield charge.
Yeah, I honestly hate shield charge. I think it's stupid. Okay. One of those are 24 chaos. Okay. Here. Now you know this character. I like him. Going back on the main though. Whoa. Dun dun dun. And we're going back, people. I'm almost full on soul fight
I really
again.
should have done more research before throwing this on a D drive.
Yep. But hey, you figured it out now. It's fine. Ah, this is bottom roll. Wow, this is almost completely giga shit roll. Holy. Am I doing another one? Sure. Or we do Hydra. Wait.
BTW dude, have you seen Price of Enlighten?
It's like a mirror, right? The very good one. And the charge on it. Blight. Sulfite. Boom. I don't want to die now, so... Hope Hydra doesn't kill me. Okay, let's go. Ooh, I like this harvest. It's actually really good money. I like the harvest in here way more than the real one. Give me the juice, give me the juice, I want the juice, orange juice. Juice, juice, juice. By the way, I think my dosha type is mostly Vata. Snowy. You should know about that shit, right? Those are like 50 chaos, but... I'm very Vata. That's why I make so many characters.
What?
I thought you're Indian.
What does that mean?
Do you know about Ayurveda? And the types of dosha? Do you even meditate, bro? Okay. I don't know where to find more juice. Okay.
Yee, I know Ayurda, I know Dosa, and I don't meditate.
Ah. And then there are 3 types, like elements, right? Wind, fire, was it water or earth? Earth, I think. Okay, 3k. Better than nothing.
You die rather well.
Need a better item filter. The great thing about the Guardian maps from Shaper, the maps are so linear. It's great for the build. What is going on? What was that sound? Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so
What's our strat to farm with armor stacker?
I don't know. Let's go down to 31. What's the price? Do I go down that much? I'll try something. I think I'm just gonna do challenges and try out more builds. But yeah, armor stacker and then I'll see what I'll do. Freeze, stun, freeze, minions, because there is a stun doesn't work, freeze.
I think it's better to wait, don't
Freeze.
lower price.
Yeah, I wanna sell, I'm impatient.
You're making me nervous.
Ah, fuck. Direct chaos damage fucks this build. As an armor stacker, you go
I can't do this just yet.
go CI, correct? Oh, this could be very big. Nope. Useless. Useless. See, like, no one's even responding to this one. This charm price right now. I think the price was set way too high. I'll keep lowering it until someone buys it. Oh, there it is. There you go. 20 div is 20 div. Ooh, nice. Thank you. Very nice. Another 20 in the bank. Bum, bum, bum. We are 80% done.
I asked few people what they do as an armor stacker on Big Daddy's Discord. Most of them prefer Simulacrum.
Simulacrum, yeah, right. That's a good money maker, right? That's a good idea, actually. And since I need to hit level 100 as well, I heard people farm that. Oh, this is nice. Actually, on this, with those boots, I cannot be hindered. Because...
U20 divs, let's go.
Yeah. I'm over 80% to my MB. Very nice. Poison on hit. Extra chaos.
BTW after this map, redeem your gambler's cards.
Oh my god, yes. Not div in the bank. So I found 20 divs this league. Can scorch me. Nearby. No, I'm not touching this altar. The downsides are too big. I might die. But man, there's a lot of altars now. Not even that many wisps, but the drops are really good. Red altars are nice, they're so easy. You always pick the minion one. Here. I think every single minion one is not really dangerous. That's very good. Right. I'm missing a mob somewhere. Huh? The chest is locked. Okay. Oh.
In India today is Sankranti, the festival of kites.
Okay, cool. I've seen pictures of that. Very nice. You guys have some cool traditions. Okay, Hydra. But now this one is empowered. That's weird.
We has the most fun festivals.
And the
I
great
got distracted.
and the great thing about good. Great thing about Cyclone is you can
I've
always
managed to clear 20 GB.
dodge this. Those abilities. Hydra's going ham. There we go.
That stretches the sanity of the mind.
Boom. Shoto, I sold the charm I found for 20 divs. Poggers.
Nice.
Yep. Oh, selling a hollow fossil 400C. I'm farming today. This one. Nope, not selling. He's gone. Scrub this. Rip. And we go again. Poison. Yeah, that's fine. I'm immune to poison. Light. Sulfite. Boom. He wants Fragment of Chimera. And this guy wants my hollow fossil. Bumped. Okay. And now I could sell those. One for 220. Div. Let's actually do 215 for now. Because once I go in here, that's 220, people are gonna spam me like fuck. So yeah, let's stick to the normal price for now. Okay, wisps. I see purple. Let's Val the chest. Wonder what's the most expensive corpse? Like perfect Hydra, probably expensive. Oh. Not even a good one. 5 chaos. Homie, you have to wait.
I can't do this just yet.
Alright. Any wisp enjoyers here? Anything? Oh, see some. Saw some blue. Not anymore. I don't know where I am here.
Yo, how did you Insta send him message?
It's a program called PoE Lurker. Gives you a little overlay where you just have to click. Every time someone whispers you, the program knows that, and then you can click. Yeah.
Nick, ill download Thal.
Yeah, it's great. Responding to people takes a long time. That add-on is a godsend. Freeze and freeze. And we do one minion tower.
Do not let them reach the purification pump.
Cassia, your towers suck. Okay? Ooh, I think this is gold. Yeah. This is minimum silver oil. Oh, I can do it right now. Boom, golden oil. 174 chaos in the bag. Easy money.
I had to buy a tainted and 2 gold oils yesterday. They expensive AF.
Yeah, I was hunting tainted oils for a while, but meh. Didn't find a single one. Okay, with the shrine, I want to first
I can't
clear
do
the
this
map.
just yet.
Okay. Yo, soon 95, let's go. Get wrecked. And we are going into Delph. Ah. Dun, 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 dun. And I can... Homie, I initiate the trade. Zzz. People love... What did he say? 665. Right? That's correct, right? Yeah.
The pings OL. For 1 chaos.
One div, you mean? Mage Blood. 9999. Boom. 128. Man, I made a lot of money today. I started today with 164. And now I'm at 202. Apparently my score...
I meant the difference, from 215 to 216.
Ah, no, I changed from 215 to 220. And then people love to buy that. Scorn. I can sell those easily for 1 for 6. Wait. No, that's not correct. Is it?
Ooh yee, that's pog.
1 for 6. People are not buying it. I think I have to do 1 for 7 then? Or I just sell them in chaos. Yeah, 20C for 1. I can do 20 for 1 chaos. Okay. Even doing blight.
Damn browery scenes tab looks Nick. Bulk sell all on TFT.
Yeah, I'm banned on TFT. And I don't know why. I think I flamed them on Reddit and they have like paranoid mods. So they banned me. Big Penis Brand. What a name. People are insane in this global chat, dude.
Damn brew, that's bad.
It's fine. Fuck those people on TFT. You didn't need it. Oh man, I don't think
TFT is like backbone for many players.
Yeah. Still. Scummy mods. Ego trip. You could have a lot better community, but the problem is they earn real life money with it, and this is why they're Nazis like this. Let's listen to Dr. K.
Flag. So like since I failed out of college, I like graduated at the age of 23 after 5 years. And then what did I do for the next 3 years? I applied to medical school. So when I was 25 or 26 years old, 26, 27, and people asked my girlfriend, "Oh, what does your boyfriend do?" He applies to medical school. That's literally what I did. I got rejected from 120 times. Red flag after red flag after red flag. How many people do you know that would encourage their girlfriend to stay with some deadbeat ass guy who's 27 years
OMG
old,
doctor
has
again.
no money, no job prospect?
I love the guy.
I can't do this just yet.
Wait. Oh. Stash. He wants 12 scorns. Wow, he's buying them all. He loves scorn essences. It's another divine. Boom.
No job experience, and has successfully almost failed out of college, and has failed to get into medical school for 2 or 3 years in a row.
So what did she see in you?
She saw me. She did not see.
Why don't
the
you keep
attributes.
chill
She didn't
songs in
see the dating
background?
profile, and she was fucking
Because
right, bro.
I
Right?
also
So, like, that-
stream on YouTube and everything is copyrighted.
Low volume.
That's why. You can do exactly that. If you say, hey, I'm listening to music, then I will not listen to Dr. K. Tell me when you do that.
That's the other cool thing, is that like she was right and like got rejected from 120 times, ended up training and teaching at Harvard Medical School, right? Well, as well as a list of other accolades. So like when you see the human instead of the attributes of the human is like when you see successful relationships.
How long does it take for you to see the human?
I think it depends on the person, but I think people.
Oh, that's a good quote. I'm gonna show this to my girlfriend. I need to make a timestamp. It's a good quote. Let's go, level 95! Woo! Oh, dynamite.
Why delve? Do they make enough profit?
I need to go a bit deeper in Delve, but overall, yeah, it's fun. And I need different types of content. I cannot do the same content all day. That drives me nuts. This is why I also have a lot of characters. I need to switch. As I said, I'm a Vata. I'm wind. I blow in this direction, I blow in this direction. I need change. I'm not a rock. That's my dosha type. That's my fate. Snowy. And I feel good like this. Like Dr. K really helped me understand myself. Every single league I make a lot of characters. Cause I'm playing one and then I'm like, oh shit, this sounds like a very good idea to make builds. And also the 4 socket resonators is like over 100 chaos. That's sick. Money, money, money. I'm very proud of myself. Been pulling through now with making money. Today was very, very successful. I was a bit doubting myself, but I pulled through. And the lucky 20 divine charm definitely helps. Wouldn't mind finding another one like this. Oh. That was so nice. So much easy experience. And it's just mobs over mobs over mobs.
Bro, 5 more divines are waiting for you in
Oh.
the gambler's cards.
Fuck, I forgot. Okay, remind me once I'm about to hit this node, and then we do gambler cards. I'll redeem all my cards, since you say you believe in the RNG. As I said, your 5 divs were a freak accident. That is not gonna happen again anytime soon. To neither you nor me. But I love the faith you have. You know, I used
Streamer RNG 100%.
Lamau. I used to play a lot of Smite, very cool game. And one of the so you play gods in there. There's gods like Ram and Ramana, Vamana, etc. And my favorite god in that game was Kali.
Look, don't step on the cracks.
I still have very old YouTube videos on my YouTube channel. Of Kali clips. Okay. Cards. Let's go. Gloves. Synthesis map. This Cortex... Oh, that's 2.2 divines. Alright. Maybe you're right. 2.2 div. Next one. Taboo. Wow.
Let's go.
That was quick.
Streamer RNG.
Did I invite him?
Long day.
Wow. I feel like this guy has some sort of script to be quicker than other people. 1 divine for 220. One sec. Okay. Okay, he wants to buy 2. That's all I have. Oh, fuck. Shit. Oh, wait. Yep. Wait, no! Didn't you want... Why does he only want 1? 2? What the fuck is he doing? Oh, luckily I... Now click accept, you motherfucker. Holy shit. Yeah. Okay, 9, 9, 9, 9.
Quick save. Nick 1.
That was very lucky. Okay. Trash, trash. Wait, wait. Fucking Lily is fucking with my add-on. Yep. 20C. I don't understand why why they aren't selling. $200 chaos. I don't understand. Trap or mine. 100 chaos. Let's try 200. I don't get it. Why aren't they selling?
BTW, whenever I use my awakened Poe, my game window closes.
Oh, because... Well, I don't know why that is, honestly. $58. Crazy. How are my gems doing? Ah, nice, they're almost level up. And then I can gamble again if I get 21. Okay. Let's go again.
People know very quickly. So let me ask y'all. Like, y'all have been together for 4.5 years now, right?
As business partners, we're not together.
I-
Yes,
just-
yeah.
no, no,
So
I'm-
people know.
no, no,
People
but-
have questioned. It's not.
No, I'm gonna use
joking,
this
yeah.
term carefully,
Yeah,
okay? I don't
sure.
mean in a sexual or romantic way. How long did it take y'all to fall in love?
I would say
Lamar.
for me, after we after we had dinner. Jack and I got dinner.
That's off the
Yeah.
rip?
Yeah, right?
He fell in love
Yeah.
off the
Now,
rip.
well, here's the thing. To clarify,
That's
Jack sent
cute.
like 8 emails wanting to do any amount of work, and I gave him a task to do. Randomly, after the eighth email, he nailed the task, and as a thank you, I said, "How about this? Meet me across the street from my office and grab some food." He was enthusiastic about, like, I want more. What else could I do?
Awake
And I was
moment,
like, well, I
lol.
have this idea. You down? He's like, yeah, I'm in. And so I saw those qualities.
So it takes him one dinner.
That's amazing. Falls in love quick and hard.
People are gonna take this too
In
literally.
fairness, I probably was in love with Graham before that because I was a fan of his. Well, like you know what I mean. So like for me, he was like an idol of mine. He made a measurable difference in my life. I got my first credit card because of him. I opened up a high yield savings account because of him. I did all of these things because of him. I'd say like probably that, and then him like finally calling me. I remember that was like a huge moment for me. You know what I mean? Like,
So that's a red flag. So y'all fit the criteria, okay? So number one is he fell in love, and he's got a huge ass red flag that you didn't know or maybe didn't think about, which is that he was infatuated with you before he met you.
Yeah, but
legit.
but I think that helps with dedication. That's like, hey,
That's
But
not
I,
bored.
I don't
But
think
not
that.
bored.
Hold on, so
I don't
it
think
made
that's a
me
red
love
flag.
the idea of Graham rather than necessarily like Graham as a person. And I,
to me, they're not red
Oh yeah,
flags,
that's why it's a red flag, right? It's because you're falling. That's what infatuation is. It's falling in love with an idea instead of a person. But my point to y'all is, if you look at successful relationships, I'm telling you, every relationship, including yours, has one red flag.
But I wouldn't see either one of those as red flags.
I think
Other
falling in love
people
with the
would.
idea
I don't
of someone
know.
is a red
Yeah.
flag, and I would say
Well,
my love grew a lot deeper.
Clearly, you didn't see it as a red flag, right?
I would, yeah.
But,
I
but
don't
if-
know.
Okay,
I
that's
mean,
hilarious.
Now y'all are famous, right? Y'all are like rich and famous. And if some, I know it sounds like y'all are in relationships, like romantic
He's
relationship.
fiancé, I'm single.
So like if someone shows up and is like, "Oh my god, Jack, you are so awesome. You've changed my life. I love you so much. You're so handsome. That haircut is so fantastic. I can't get enough of you. Tell me what you want. I'll do anything for you."
Well, if they like the haircut, that's
Right.
a-
So like,
Then that's a red flag.
so right? Because like you kind of
fuck.
know that this person doesn't know the real you, and if she
Oh.
asked you out on a date,
Perfect
would you go? I'm
fossil.
assuming you're heterosexual, but would you go?
Yeah, dude. Of course
depends
you
how
would.
attractive
But
she
that
is.
I
Here's the
see
thing,
this
here's
as
the
like,
thing, like the
Jack
honest-
is filtering. Jack is himself on the podcast. So people that come up to him and be like, I vibe with you. I like it.
No.
I dig
Let
this.
me explain. He sees this very differently than I do. He says I need to pick from a pool of our audience because they know who I am, and I see that as a
Not
dangerous
because they
thing. Now-
know who you
now
are,
to answer
but
your-
because they share similar values and they've watched you enough to be interested in what you have to offer. That's what I think. Not because they know who Jack is, but because they vibe and they resonate with what Jack says.
I think I have a little less confidence in that because of the way that I felt towards you when we initially met. I idolize you, and literally I said in the emails, I will do anything that you want me to do. I think I specified I will pick up Ramsey's cat poop. You know what I mean? Like I will do.
But
anything.
I think those are the qualities. I would say the same thing. If I looked up to somebody and I want to work with them, I'll do anything.
But
there's nothing, no task
but
below
I fell
me.
in love with the impact that you made on my life. As far as falling in love with you as a character, I would say it took me a little bit because you were so different than anybody I've ever met before that I had to understand you before I felt like I could truly love you. You know?
That's so
Healthy
cute.
masculinity right
It
there,
was
by the way.
it was infatuation off the rip. And then after understanding who you are, and then me coming to terms with, wow, this is somebody I've never met anybody like this before in my entire life. You're so direct. It was hard for me to, because I've never been in a relationship like that where some people
like
are so
this.
upfront. And then finally, once I was like, this is just who he is, because I saw you treat other people like that, very upfront, very blunt. Then I had to come to terms of, okay, can I accept this person for them in their entirety, or can I not? And I said, absolute F yes, without a doubt, I can. And I think that's when I fell in love with it.
So let's understand a couple things. First of all, you were in love with him before you even met him. You were infatuated by him. But once you got to know the real him, oh my god, it was so much better. And you felt so much more.
What the fuck?
And if we look at this right here, right? So this is, I know we're not talking about a sexual or romantic relationship, but these qualities you will never find on a dating app. Y'all get this? Like, listen to the way that y'all are talking about each other, the way that you get to know each other. This is how a real bond forms.
But
right?
but the same thing that Jack met me could be how Jack meets a significant other.
And that's my point.
Yeah.
That's exactly my point, right? So, and you're asking what's wrong with dating.
Yeah.
The thing is, on a dating
You
app,
know what's
y'all
sad?
get that the information
I don't even
on a
have the
dating
King on
app
the
does not
Mist
touch
charm.
what
I've
we
done
heard
it,
here
the last
today. I
charm.
don't even think you guys understand what we
Crazy.
heard today. because y'all were participating, but your listeners, like, holy shit, listening to y'all talk about each other is glorious. It gives me faith in humanity.
And I think that the infatuation that I had with Graham off the rip was not enough to have a lifelong relationship with him. And once that started to diminish and I saw these other parts of his character that I was not used to, I had to then make that decision. Am I in love with this person or am I not?
And so that's completely consistent with, I mean, I know that everyone's memeing about this, but like for real, that's completely consistent with what I'm saying about romantic relationships too. It can start with a red flag of infatuation, but whether it withstands the test of time, a relationship must grow and evolve. And that's the other problem with dating apps, is everyone's looking for a finished product. So what people don't understand is I'm trying to find the right person for a relationship. That is impossible. A relationship is created by two human beings. It is not something that you fit someone into. Y'all get that? Because it's like organic. And just if we listen to y'all's relationship, right? And you can think about the romantic relationships you've had. You can even think about parental relationships. All relationships grow and evolve over time. And we don't really think about that.
I wonder if... Let's quickly check out POB. Affliction. Boom. Okay. Frenzy, sure. Am I fortified? Yes. Adrenaline, no. We blocked recently, impaled recently. Is the enemy intimidated? Yes, of course. Channeling Cyclone, I have Infusion. Maximum effect. So it's at least 5 mil DPS I have. Feels good. I think you need 5 mil to have a character feel good. So I wonder, how much damage is this? 5.9. I feel like this is the best I'm gonna get. Damage-wise. Skills. Boom. 6 stages. Oh, wait, what? Yeah, 5 mil. Damn, my impale does more damage than my shit itself. Oh yeah, I think by far this is the best damage I can get. This is 300k. Wow. Damn. I think I'm getting this. I don't think anything's gonna come close. Doot dee doo loo loot. Ugh. Okay. Full DPS. So this is almost 1 million. But what I don't like, I have to put down the fucking totems for it. This is 332. This one's big. Looney, what's this? I don't think I can. This is not 300k. Oh, this is by far the best for now. Right. Crazy. So much. Okay. Okay, PoE. Let's go. 300k DPS more. Not bad.
Looking for a finished product that will slot into my life. And even if you find someone who says they are willing to slot into your life, chances are you will fall out of love with them over some amount of time because they're not exciting you in some way. Right? So sometimes like people will find exactly what they're looking for, and sometimes it's great and sometimes it's not. But for most of the people that I've talked to who have found successful relationships over dating apps, it's like, yeah, there was enough to get in the door, and what I discovered was so far beyond what the app showed. Because there's a fundamental data analytics problem, which is that dating apps cannot collect or share the actual information that correlates with a successful relationship. And that even is even more complex because what a successful relationship requires evolves over time. Relationships need, I work with my wife, she's CEO, she's my boss. Right? That sounds very awkward, but it works really well. We had kids together. Me and her dating a celibate monk is version 1.0, right? And then it's like not celibate person, and it's loser. That's a different relationship. Then it's medical student. Then it's like faculty at Harvard Medical School. Now it's influencer. And then she's my boss. There's so many different relationships there that a real relationship is not something that you can capture on a piece of something. And they evolve and grow over time.
But a good barometer for the health or success, predictive success of a relationship would be those 4 things that you shared.
Yeah, so I don't think I shared all 4. So
No, you went to 2.
Connectedness, 90 minutes, shared emotional experience, free of daily hassles, and I'm forgetting what the 4th thing is, but there's a 4th.
And then what about going from a healthy relationship then to a healthy marriage? Keeping the excitement, keeping the spark, keeping the interest. They take it you can't limit it to 90 minutes anymore.
So I'll answer this question. I'm tempted to answer the question the same way I answered the last one, is how do y'all keep it fresh? No. So now we come full circle to tantric sex. No, but
What the fuck?
which, because it's not sexual in nature, y'all can do, and it's no homo. I swear. No, okay. But let's understand a couple things. Okay, so the first thing is to understand that a relationship evolves over time, which we've already talked about. But the second thing, the most important thing that I think transitions into marriage, I don't know if it's necessarily marriage or like from the short-term to the long-term relationship.
Ooh, level 20.
Early on, you have so much neurochemistry working in your favor. So you're excited by this person, there's novelty, there's attractiveness, the sex is new. We sort of know that in a default state, the amount of arousal that you feel with a new partner is greater than what you feel with like a partner over time. That's in the default state. Now, a lot of people will interpret this as like, this is a biological truth. The core feature of human beings that a lot of people who are like, this is the biological truth, the core feature of human beings is that we are not bound by our biology. We're the only species on the planet that does things that are biologically, we have consciousness, and we have the ability to shape and change our internal environment. Now, it's possible animals can do this, but we don't have really any evidence of that. There's some evidence of maybe self-awareness. But like a dog can't wake up one day and decide like, I no longer want to eat this thing. Like they're just not capable of that. They can be trained, but that internal process is impossible. So we're not defined by our biology as human beings. And celibacy is a great example of that, right? So like people will be willfully celibate and it's actually like works. So I think the biggest thing that is required is you have to understand that when you first start dating someone, things are going to be easy because the neurochemistry isn't in your favor. You're going to feel hornier. You're going to feel more excited. You're learning about this person. There's going to be a lot of stuff that's working for you. So the factors work for you and work for the relationship. Over time, what starts to happen is you have to start working. You have to start doing the work. So over time, what feels natural, right? When y'all got together and the first time y'all had dinner, and it was like, oh my God, this is so natural. And like, this is a fit that was made in heaven. And over time, that wears out, right? And then you all have to start putting work into maintaining the relationship. So I think this is where a lot of people fall short, is that relationship feels easy at the beginning, and then people will break up because it's starting to feel hard. This used to be so easy.
What the fuck?
And that's what happens to everybody. It gets harder for everyone all the time. It's the people who recognize this is getting hard, and this requires my effort, and now I'm going to have to put intention into it. And once they solve those problems, that actually makes the relationship stronger. So when things get tough, like some people are like, this is not what I signed up for, because it's very different from what it was early, right? Early on, you've got your honeymoon phase and you're willing to...
all of them stayed
but at
20.
some point, case in point of celibacy, right? There was a red flag. There was also failure on my part, a second red flag. But at some point, those things have to change. And I think the biggest problem that I see in modern relationships is this attitude that like, I don't have to be what someone else wants me to be. Like, I am perfect the way that I am. If you can't accept me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. So there's like this weird attitude of like independence and radical acceptance, which I think leads to toxicity. And it's like, yeah, sorry, like this is just the way I am. Screw you. If you don't like it, you can leave.
But where do you find the balance in that between accepting a person for who they are and saying, this is just me, versus knowing if that's something you need to work on?
So it's beautiful because I don't think you need balance. I think what you need is both.
Sure.
So let's understand something about acceptance. So people will say like, so acceptance is accepting where you are. And growth is about where you want to go. So the pitfalls here are that some people don't actually accept their partner. So based on, a simple example is like, let's say like body count, okay? So whether it's high body count or low body count, like I don't care, I'm not placing a value judgment, but some people will say, you've had like, so this is especially true of like men who have fewer sexual partners and especially substantially fewer sexual partners than their female partners. Mm-hmm. So they will feel insecure about it and they won't be able to accept. So there's some kind of like, even though they're dating, they're saying accepting things, internally they don't accept. And internally they feel resentment. They feel shame. They feel some amount of like, like I should have been better or whatever. I don't know, whatever. So if you kind of look at that in that moment, this partner, even if you're dating this person, you're not accepting them. Now, that's one thing. But change over time doesn't mean staticness. In fact, it's the opposite. So if I'm working with someone who is, let's say, an alcoholic, the first step to change is acceptance. As long as you're in denial, you can't accept. As long as you're in denial, you can't grow at all, right? So with Alcoholics Anonymous, it's like, hi, my name is Alok, I'm an alcoholic. They start with acceptance. So I don't think that it's a balance between the two. I think one actually leads to the other. The problem is that we've started to think about acceptance as like carte blanche to do whatever you want. That's not what acceptance is. Acceptance is acknowledgement of the present circumstances. And then once you acknowledge what the present circumstances are, like in my case, like I realized like, holy shit, this girl is not giving up on me. She deserves
That's
better.
cute.
Right? And there's two things that can happen when a dude has that thought. Number one is, oh my God, you're going to leave me, right? You're going to leave me and you're going to find someone better because you deserve better and you don't deserve me. The second is, I'm going to become better. I'm going to become what you deserve. And it's when people start doing that, when both parties do that in a relationship, I'm going to be what you deserve. I'm going to grow for the sake of this relationship. I'm going to get better. It's not accept me at my worst. If you can't accept me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. It's that I'm grateful that you're accepting me at my worst, and you deserve nothing less than the best 24/7, and that's what I'm moving towards. But you cannot do that unless you accept that there's a part of you that's shitty here and now.
If we were to draft up a framework for someone to live like the most meaningful, fulfilling possible life, now I know probably frameworks are the most productive thing because you can't really apply that to everybody. Let's just say, this is what my take is, and I want to hear what your thoughts are on it. There are three things, which would be a consistent sleep schedule, diet, and exercise. I think those three things are extremely important. Like those are the things that you need to nail, right? And then after that, I think that you can then go on to like more non-physical things, such as like practicing acceptance, practicing surrender, and relinquishing desire, right? And then from there, potentially going on to the next thing, which would be crafting your environment to be conducive or conductive or whatever for who you are, like the things that you, like we discussed earlier in this conversation. Would you agree with that in those steps, or would you say that's a little bit too rigid?
I don't agree with those steps. And in a few moments, I think you're not going to agree with them either. So bear with me, okay? So you said, what's the foundation of your thing?
I would say physical health, so like exercising, getting a consistent sleep schedule, and proper nutrition.
Okay, and then what's step 2?
Step 2 would then be the non-physical things, which I think could reasonably follow getting the foundation right, which would be
Relinquishing desire.
relinquishing desire, practicing surrender.
So let's take a case, okay?
Yeah.
So, and I apologize if my answer was arrogant, but so let's say that I have trouble sleeping. How do I how do I get a consistent sleep schedule? How do I get a consistent diet? And how do I get consistent exercise?
Well, the reasonable answer would be you probably need to exercise more throughout the day to make yourself tired enough to go to bed at night.
Yeah, but how do I do that?
Exercise
Yeah.
would be the other pillar. So it'd be like,
I know, but how do I get myself? So like most people don't exercise regularly, don't sleep a full night, and don't eat a healthy
oh,
diet.
so you're saying how do you get the motivation to start going?
Yeah, right. So you're saying those are the foundation. How is that foundation built? Because we're presuming that it's not built, right? So people aren't. doing
Okay,
this.
interesting. Okay, so I have heard plenty of different answers to such a question, which I think the most reasonable one would be just kind of just have to do it. And then doing it is hard.
Just have to do it is not a how. How do I do it?
How do you go to sleep at a regular time, and how do you
Yeah.
exercise?
So you gave me a how for sleep.
Establishing- Right,
So you gave me a how for the sleep is the exercise regularly.
right, setting standards for yourself.
So a lot of people set standards for myself. Shit, I set standards.
But they
for-
don't follow them.
Why not?
Probably because they have
ALR,
history.
bro tired after today's
Okay.
celebration. GTG Slipep. GN.
Alright, dude. See you around. Have a good one. I'll keep farming. Dann komm sicher nach Hause.
So where does it start?
When the consequence of not following your standards is not properly is not enough.
Can
to
you share
deter
POB or
from
info for this
not following your
build?
standards in the first place.
What is the
My POB is on the top left. Homie. There's my Pet Building account.
If you get a Mage Blood, make sure to keep a Beatty Mage Blood thumbnail on next stream.
I don't think I will do that.
the subjective experience of that person. So let me put it a different way. Why doesn't someone eat healthy? Let's say I go out to a restaurant. I'm like, I should order a salad, but instead I get a burger.
Right. I think
Why?
a lot of it has to do with the consequences not being enough.
Okay, so but then the consequences aren't enough, right? So the consequences don't change.
Right.
So how am I going to change that?
You can impose your own consequences, right? But then I guess. how can you
Anyways,
follow it?
CYA.
Yeah, so
Right.
See you,
which part of
Snowy.
me imposes consequences? So here's the crazy thing. Relinquishing desire is not what comes after exercise. Relinquishing desire is literally what is required for exercise.
Okay.
I don't want to
Einfach
exercise.
nur Nudeln
I
mit
want to sit
Bolognese.
at home and play video games. Conquering that desire is literally how you get to the gym. I don't want to go to bed. Conquering that desire is how you go to bed.
Okay, to use your own philosophy
I can't
against
do
you
this
now,
with you.
how would you then get the... What tools do you use in order to relinquish desire?
It starts with awareness.
Okay,
So-
how do you become aware?
You pay attention.
How do you pay attention?
Close your eyes.
Okay.
No, right now. What are you aware of?
Voice.
Okay.
I'd say my hungry stomach. I would say my knee bouncing. on the
That's how you
table.
do it.
Okay. So I have become aware. Okay, let me do this. Okay. What are you aware of?
My eyes being closed.
Okay. What else?
Your voice, me sitting in the chair, paranoia about the time. That's what I'm.
Okay, so now we are aware.
So I want y'all to notice something. Open your eyes. So what happened to the things that Graham was aware of over the stretch of the awareness exercise? So what happened is he became aware of more and more things, and also subtler and subtler things. So it started with the physical, it became the mental, and then if he kept on noticing that awareness, he could even discover the origins of the paranoia. He could discover all kinds of things as he just increases his awareness.
So don't be distracted.
No, it's
Sure.
to give yourself time.
I think both of those are true, right? So don't be distracted. What I would say is don't be distracted is hard because you don't control your distraction. What you control is your intention towards awareness.
Interesting. Okay.
Right, so-
okay, so it was kind of like a little bit of like a conscious, like meditative state, a little bit, in a sense, right?
Awareness.
Awareness.
Consciousness.
Okay. Now you said actually on something that it doesn't matter if you are meditating all the time. It matters the quality of the, not meditating, but let's say just say awareness, right? The quality of the awareness. How do you increase the quality of your awareness?
So I think the biggest mistake that people make with not increasing the quality of their awareness is that they follow a metric for meditation. So they say, I'm going to meditate for 15 minutes. I'm going to install an app on my phone. I'm going to set my timer. I'm going to force myself to sit down and meditate, which means I'm going to observe my breath. But what they're doing is checking a box. They're actually fulfilling a set of external conditions, which is closing my eyes using the timer. This is meditation. Meditation is not that. Meditation is awareness. So literally, it is being aware, right? So what are you aware of? You can start with that question. And this is why we have techniques, right? So certain techniques will, so I'll give you all like, this technique is going to work maybe better for you than for you. But if you chant Om, you know how to chant Om?
You know, just
Okay. So Om is chanted very simply. Okay, so I'm going to give you a meditation technique. Is that cool? Yeah. Okay. So Om is not Om. It's Ah, U, and E. So all it is your mouth fully open. Ah. And then transition, open it as big as you can. Ah. And then transition slowly to close. Ah. Perfect. That is literally what Om is. And this is why people are confused because they think Om is O-M. It's not. Many people, if you look at the more authentic religious traditions, they will have A-U-M. So if you chant Om, you chant Om 7 times, and I want you to notice where you feel vibration in your body.
Am I supposed to do this right
No,
now?
no, not now.
Okay,
Just
yeah,
in
I
the
was
future,
thinking.
right? So
Retention,
people can do
yeah,
this at
yeah.
home, right? And it's really simple because you know how to chant Om. It's perfect. Just start with your mouth open, exhale, and then close your mouth gradually over time, and you're done.
And where do I feel vibrations?
Where do you feel vibrations, right? So for someone who's a Vata like you, you're curious. You want answers, right? So if I give you an answer, what are you going to do with it?
Probably test it and question it. And
Right? Or reject it or compare it. You're going to cite something else, but what about this? But
Right.
what about this? But what about this? That shit ain't going to work for you. I can give you all the answers. It's not going to be enough. You'll enjoy it intellectually, but it's not going to change you.
it's not good.
Yeah.
That's funny, yeah.
You'll get, it's intellectual masturbation is what it is. Like it feels good.
It
but
is. It really is.
Yeah, but no one's going to get pregnant this way, right? You really want to change. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you, and then if you're motivated, you can do it. If you're not motivated, you don't have to do it. If you're not motivated, you can go read 1,000 books on motivation. You find your motivation. You do whatever the fuck you want with it. If you do this practice and you observe where the vibration is, you will discover something. And this is how we cultivate awareness. So depending on the person, depending on their temperament, depending on their cognition, depending on their personality. This is the other problem with meditation is that everyone teaches the same thing because there was a master. And how did the master come up with the technique? The master came up with the technique because he understood the stuff, or she understood the stuff. And she individualized particular techniques for their disciples. And then what happens is the disciples learn the technique and they mechanically teach it, which is why everyone is doing mindfulness and no one is getting enlightened. So what we do to increase your awareness is just do this, just observe. And as curiosity for you will help because now you're looking for something. And if I give you something to look for, then your mind is going to be focused.
Okay. So we have to practice awareness via probably meditation.
That's the simplest way, the
Right.
best way. But if it doesn't work for you, you don't have to do it that way.
There's awareness in other ways, like when you get into that flow state.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Okay. And then that is what could then spur hopefully, like you realize internally that certain things would be better for you to do, and then you don't have the desire to continue doing the things that are negative.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Right? And how did you formulate that? Because you've done it. You realize that you used to have desires that controlled you, and then you had an internal revelation that changed your behavior. It's not willpower, it's understanding.
And that is why you ask people questions.
Yes, so another good example of awareness raising is psychotherapy. Right? So we're asking questions in a particular way that raises someone's awareness. Like if you're working with a narcissist and they're not aware of other people's internal emotional state. So by helping them become aware of that, then they're like, oh, wow, like this is crazy. Like we can cure narcissism. Like we can cure it. It's crazy.
Permanently?
Absolutely.
Is it just giving them a set of tools?
I thought they were fully atrophied, those parts of their brain, like that you cannot connect those synapses.
No. So if you look at something like borderline personality disorder, which I think is very similar to narcissism, narcissism is more common in men, borderline personality disorder is more common in women. I want to say 95 to 99% of women with borderline personality disorder are cured 16 years after diagnosis. 50%, 2 years after.
By what, real life or by psychotherapy?
Both. So a lot of people no longer qualify because there's all kinds of nuances to that.
So maybe the nature of the illness in the first place is that's transitory, right?
It's not that it's transitory, it's personality. Right? So, and does personality change over time?
Yeah.
100%. That's it.
Can you cure depression?
The scientific answer is probably not, and we don't know. My instinct is absolutely. For 51+% of people. That's what my gut tells me. So my clinical experience, and that's based on clinical experience. So what I mean by that is how many people have walked into my office qualifying for a mood disorder like major depressive disorder, and how many of them, after completing treatment, are sustainably able to not qualify for that disorder without ongoing support. So if they complete a course of psychotherapy for like 2 years, let's say, or medication or whatever, and then like 5 years later, if you measure them, do they have any depressive episodes? I would say 51% of people, 51+% of people don't. And even if you look at the data on depression, the majority of people who have major depressive disorder, I think not the majority, but the plurality of them have only one.
Hearing him debate Hormozy on this would be insane.
Oh man, if we could.
Who's Hormozy?
He's the guy that's coming on.
Alex Hormozy.
15
He
minutes.
is amazing.
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate it. You want to say where people could find you?
Sure.
Besides
So,
the description.
I'm Dr. K. So I run an organization called Healthy Gamer HG. healthygamer.gg. Our YouTube channel is healthygamer_GG. I think those are like the best places to find us. We're on all the platforms, but YouTube, Twitch, and website, this archaic thing. And thank y'all so much.
Cool.
All links
Thank you.
down
Really
below.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you guys so much for watching. Thank you for coming on and making
Thanks,
this
man.
trip out here. That means a lot.
I wish we had an extra hour.
I wish we had extra several hours.
You guys want to see another one? Just comment down below.
Comment down below. We'll make
If
it
you
happen,
to
okay?
the very end, just let us know. We read all the comments, and we do a part 2.
Yeah, and depending on what y'all want for part 2. So the other thing I'll ask y'all to comment is if y'all want to go more solo and y'all want to dive in, we can do that. But that I'll leave up to y'all.
Sounds good.
Thank you
Y'all
guys.
also.
Till next time.
Welcome to the Huberman Lab podcast, where we discuss science and science-based tools for everyday life. I'm Andrew Huberman, and I'm a professor of neurobiology and ophthalmology at Stanford School of Medicine. My guest today is David Goggins. David Goggins is a retired Navy SEAL who served in Iraq and Afghanistan. He's also a highly accomplished ultramarathon runner. For those of you that don't know, ultramarathons are distances longer than 26 miles, and in David's case, often longer than 200 miles. For his achievements in athletics, he has been inducted into the International Sports Hall of Fame. He also held a Guinness World Record for the most pull-ups completed in 24 hours. I should mention that not only was David a decorated Navy SEAL, but he also graduated from Army Ranger School. David is also a highly successful writer, having authored 2 books, the first entitled Can't Hurt Me, and the second entitled Never Finished, both of which are bestsellers. David's books cover many topics, including his autobiographical description of what can only be described as an incredibly challenging child and young adulthood. His home was abusive, his school environment was abusive, he essentially had no positive resources directed his way. And in his 20s, he found himself to be obese, that is more than 300 pounds, working a job he despised for minimal pay. And it was at that point that David began an inner dialogue that forced him to explore the demons born out of his childhood, but also the position that he found himself in as a young man. And then began the journey to navigate that dialogue and transform himself into the Navy SEAL, the ultramarathon runner, the best-selling author, and the extraordinarily positive and influential man that he is today. As some of you may know, David has done various public lectures. He's a familiar face online because there are so many clips of him on YouTube, and he has done podcasts before. However, I'm certain that you'll find today's discussion to be very different than previous podcasts that David has been featured on. The reason is that, of course, we get into his accomplishments. We talk about the mindset that allowed him to achieve those things. But today, David really lets us under the hood. He lets us into the form of inner dialogue that he has to embrace, indeed that he has to grapple with on a daily basis, sometimes multiple times throughout the day and night, in order to impose the sort of self-discipline that he is so well known for. We also get into some of the scientific mechanisms underlying willpower, and we talk about David's current endeavors that include, for instance, his own exploration of science and medicine, for which he has become an intense scholar and practitioner. I should mention that multiple times throughout today's discussion,
okay, bro, my god, you talked for 3 minutes straight now.
What build is that?
Holy shit. This build is Facebreaker, Impale, Non-Crit, Cyclone of Tumult. Almost said Turbulence. That's the build. It's fun, it's good. It's like 5 million DPS. And yeah. Farming for Mage Blood now, and then I'm gonna try to play Armor Stacker. Hopefully that's gonna work out.
Is it better than the normal Cyclone?
Yes, it does more damage, but you have a movement penalty, movement speed, but you can counter that with Stampede Boots very easily. Okay. Let's sell those people some gems. Oh, fuck. Whoops. Wait. Alright, I got it. Fucking trade me, bitch! Come on! Thank you. Holy. Click the wrong button. Okay. Let's go. You can check out my path of building up there. Top left corner. Yuketsu with a Z.
I have a Cyclone Slayer, but I feel it's squishy and does no DMG.
Okay. You can try this build.
What's the budget?
You can start the build on like 60 chaos. Get a tabula, get facebreaker. You need the stampede boots later. The gem itself, of course. And then you just want flat fizz. Yeah, with jewels and stuff. Later you upgrade by buying Impale
Already have the gem in the boots.
Watcher's Eye. Because you want to go Impale. But, well, you can play it as Slayer as well, but I like it on Impale because it's more than half of your damage is coming from the Impales. But I'm not sure if it's necessary. You can probably also build the crit variant of it, but I like it this way at the moment. Feels good to not think about the build anymore. So yeah, it's a good build. Very smooth. Okay, I think I'm gonna showcase you tier 16 now. Full wisps, full everything. Because I'm done with Delve now. No more juice.
I get it. I am still new to the game, been playing for the last month and a half.
Fair enough. But yeah, it's easily, you can easily start this character. Okay. We're doing waste pool because it's great for... Oh. Great for this build. Don't like this. Range, cursed, any weakness, and less accuracy sucks. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Okay. And we are doing Blight. Okay, let's go. Tier 16.
I just finished a non-MF tornado shot build.
Fair enough. Okay. Okay, I don't see any wisps. Nope. Okay, here's nothing. Okay. Okay, this is all useless. Alright. Okay, here's an event. So yeah, this is how the build performs on tier 16s. Oh, a big boy? Yeah, big boy. Let's kill him. Okay. A bit over 4k juice. See what we got.
It looks good, and against Ubers?
I don't know. I'm not playing this against Ubers. I'm farming for Mage Blood. Cute how you, who's playing this game for 1.5 months, your benchmark is can it kill Ubers? Man, visual clarity, you know.
It's true I can't. Just trying to find a good build to do it, but I don't like to do the campaign.
What can you do, huh? I don't see anything. What the fuck? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think with this build you can definitely farm up currency and then upgrade this character probably, if you want to play this more. It's a good build. Repair the building is up there.
What kind of one-shot build can I do with 47 Divines and 1400 Chaos?
I have no idea. Still more than 50 mobs? Oh my god. Where are they hiding? Ah, okay, there's one more path. The cool thing is, Cyclone or not, you always have 50% movement speed. Now I just have to loot. So, you have a squishy Cyclone Slayer. How did you farm 47 div?
Doing essences and the plant ones.
Ah, harvest. Yeah,
Forget
that's a
the
good.
name.
That's a good tactic. Yeah. I don't like harvest at all.
I am tired of it, and dying too.
Hmm. That sucks. So yeah, my build is an option if you want to. Is he okay?
Yes, I am going to try it. Thanks a lot.
No problem, man. Okay. What is good money, I think, is definitely Blight. You should try it. Oh.
Do not let them reach the purification pump.
If you don't fail it like I am right now. Oh, yeah. RIP. RIP! I suck. Distracted her now. Yeah, I think it's RIP. It's weird. Every time you juice...
I built my tornado shot thinking in that cuz with my slayer I can't do nothing really.
Okay. Every time you juice with wisps, I don't know why, but my blights fail. It's weird. I don't know what it is. I feel like they're immune to freeze or some shit. Oh well. I have to make food. My girlfriend's coming home from work and we're gonna eat. So yeah. I'm gone for now. Have a good evening, dude. Good luck with the builds. <clears throat> 133 chaos. Divines. Almost Mage Blood. Can't wait.
You too, bon appetit laughing face.
Thank you.